What is up there, SEO pros? Welcome back. Chase Runner here. Today we're going to be talking about how to do SEO reporting. Now, this is a very asked for topic that I've been sort of neglecting, mainly because I've been so busy. But now I will be showing you exactly how I go about doing reporting for my clients, and you can take whatever you like from this tutorial and apply it to your own business if you'd like. And that's pretty much it. What we're actually going to be doing this is we're just going to be using this as the template for our SEO agency spreadsheets, which is part of our mastermind group. If you have no idea what that is, there will be a link in the description where you can go and download all this stuff. So next to our roadmap template is going to be the SEO reporting template. So let me just go ahead and change that color because of OCD. And now I will create a new document to make an outline for sort of what you'd like to do in an report. So I guess the best way to do this would be sort of to do a checklist through a Google Sheet. Now, the thing about SEO reports is I don't really do the same thing every single time. Some people ask me, like, what are the things that you need to report on every single time you work with a client or every month. Now, first of all, I do these reports monthly, so I'll just say report monthly. Second of all, I make sure to include the most valuable metrics that people care about based on what we're working on. So if we're working on, for instance, content for this month, I'm not really going to be focusing as much on, say, for instance, conversions. I mean, conversions are always going to be the most valuable metric that you're going to want to report on and be able to show progress in. But if you're going to be building content and you're not going to be ranking that content, usually within the first month, depending on what you're trying to go for, trying to point out how valuable conversions are that month might not be the best thing for you. So it's really about showing the highlights, in my opinion, and also showing sort of the things that still need to be worked on without putting them in a negative mindset. So let's just sort of go into a report for a client that we've been working with. We'll go with our sleep guide. Now, this is a client that we're doing really well with, and when we first started, I always use them as an example, they had about 3 visits a month off of Google. Now they have about 19 to 20,000 a month. So they're doing really well. Obviously, in the beginning, when we first started working with them, they were not doing that well, and they weren't getting that much traffic. So how do you show reports within the first couple months is the question in order to show progress, right? Even if they're not receiving a lot of traffic. So let's just go filter back by a longer date period. Now, I will say, if you don't have analytics or Search Console, make sure you set that up. So I'm just going to put in here make sure you have analytics and Search Console installed, along with conversion tracking. Well, I'll make that separate. So that we can have videos for each of those. Conversion tracking enabled. And then there will be a little checklist here. So, whoops, let me just put this down here. Is this done? And the thing you'll put there is X or Y. X or Y, and that's how you filter. And then over here, we're going to say tutorial, ? And then for the conversion tracking, that's really easy. We already have a tutorial along with a ton of other tutorials if you're not familiar with the channel, which I'm sure most of you are. And let's go conversion tracking 2018. We want to do online and offline, sorry. Online and offline. It's interesting how the user intent changed to AdWords on that.
What is up there, SEO pros? Today we're doing online and off.
Wow, it really sounded like I was yelling in there. Okay, boom. Okay, so next what we're going to want to do is let's talk about month 1 and through month 3. So through month 3, our reporting is going to be sort of just talking about the things that we implemented based off the initial roadmap. So if we look at month 1 through 3, let's go look at that. Hold on, sorry, I'm going back here. Let's go back to May 1st to the 30th. Oops, sorry. I guess I was filtering by a longer date period. I don't know how it's still going there. There we go. So as you can see here, they're not receiving much traffic from Google, but this is when we started implementing stuff from our roadmap. So what I like to do when I'm doing reporting is, of course, I'm still going to send these analytics over. I'm going to be like, okay, this is, the current analytics, and I'll do a screenshot there. So I'll do, screenshot like this, and then I'll save that. So I'll do, overall sessions. And I do this by filtering through organic. I'm not worried as much about the other metrics, and I don't really want them to mess up my metrics overall anyways, because direct sessions and stuff like that, I don't really report on. I just report on organic traffic usually. So I'll just put in here organic traffic. Oh, somebody's calling me. Organic traffic screenshot. And then what I'll also do in this report is I'll just put together a doc of like an example. So we'll just do this one here. And I'll go ahead and do insert image, upload. Oops, sorry. That's the Search Console. We'll get to that in a second. Upload, and then trying to find the picture I just took. Where is it? Was this it? I think I named it organic, didn't I? Overall sessions. There we go. So what I'll eventually do is I'll end up putting this into an email, but you can send it as a Google Doc too. I've sort of changed up how I do the reporting, and let me just make it something clear, guys. At the end of the day, the only thing clients really care about is, are you making progress? A lot of them can look at their own analytics, but it's not super important to make these things extremely flashy. It's just important to convey the certain points you're trying to make. And most of these things, I always make phone calls with the clients afterwards, so I can tell them like, hey, look, this is what we're working on. This is what this means. This is why, for instance, this might be dropping, whatever. I don't know why I can't drag this. This is really making me angry. But assuming that you could drag this, you would bring it up to a correct place. Looks like I can rotate it. Okay, so we'll just leave it there. So overall traffic, organic traffic is important because you want to be able to show what the current traffic is, and then always compare it to the previous month. So I'll just do that plus comparison. Plus comparison to previous month. George says, what's up there, SEO Pro? What's up, George? Shavinder says, make video on Scrapebox, bro. I don't really use Scrapebox that much. I liked experimenting with it at a certain point, but you should really set up or check out the King Tut guy, or Tut something, Scrapebox. What's his name? This guy has tons of tutorials. It's all the tutorials you would ever need on Scrapebox, and he teaches them way better than I do. This one right here, Scrapebox Guides Tuts Loop Line. Check that out. Okay, so let's keep going through here. So the next thing after that, because you're going to want to be able to show the progress, because like, look, even though it was 63 visits, it's still 160% increase in organic traffic. So that's the type of stuff I like to highlight. I like to be able to show, and I should have actually put this in here instead, percentage increases in valuable metrics, because it's one thing to go from 23 to 60 visits, but it's another thing to be able to show that because of the stuff that you did, you were able to bring a huge increase by percentage in either organic conversions, organic traffic, whatever it is. So to be able to show like 100% increase in organic traffic per month, and if that's one of their main things that they are looking for, then you're really going to be able to impress them, even if it's a small number in the beginning. So let me just put that in there, traffic comparison, because that really should have been the picture. So insert image. It'd be cool if I could just do a screenshot of what that would look like and then put that into the here, but I don't think I can do a link. So there's that. So what I would say next to all these things is like little notes, like I would say I always say something similar to this. Trying to see if I can type here. So hey name, it looks like we are really making a ton of progress. And in the beginning, where clients are more concerned about what you're actually doing, because the problem is with most clients, they don't really care about, like the traffic as much in the beginning as they care about what you're actually doing, if that makes sense. I mean, they of course care about your traffic, or about their traffic, but they really want to make sure that you're doing your job. So like month 1 really looks like explaining to them what you're doing so that they actually know that you're making progress. So that's why I actually end up selling products and not services now, which is another discussion. But when you get into selling to clients, it's a lot better to sell a product that you can agree to based off your roadmap versus selling a service, if that makes sense. You're still selling a service, but let me just show you. So if we click into our roadmap, and then we go into our made roadmap. If you guys aren't familiar with this, there's a tutorial actually in this roadmap. If you want to get the roadmap, it's in the mastermind group or in the Nexus bundle. If you look up my website, you'll find it, or if you look in the links in the description after this video, you'll find it as well. But either way, what you're going to do is with any client, you're going to start out with a roadmap, right? And you're going to find all the different things that are wrong with the website. So say, for instance, one of you guys came in, you're like, hey, Chase, I need a website audit. I'd say, okay, give me the website URL. I would ask for all the things in the intake form, like whatever's in here. Thanks for contacting me. Give me all this stuff. And once you do that, you're going to fill out all this information over here, or I'm going to fill out all this information over here for you, up here. And then I'm going to go through your website with like a screaming frog crawl and go, okay, so you need to fix this, you need to fix this, and whether or not you need to fix it, it's going to be a Z or an X, whatever. And after I do that, I'm going to sort through that checklist from Z to X, and I'm going to find all of the things that you need to fix first. After that, I'm going to go to this little hamburger menu and find all of my different prices. And like I said, you guys can use this for your own agency. That's why I set this up. So if I go into package inputs, I'll be able to see all the different pricings that's in here right now. So we got small SEO audit, which is whatever people buy in the beginning if their website's under 500 pages indexed. Small on-page SEO package, so on and so on. So say, for instance, they wanted like a couple of these things that I found in the priority checklist, and then we just said, okay, well then let's just give them or recommend the local SEO package for $1,400. Now, all of the stuff in here is just going to be stuff that I recommend. So say, for instance, they need all this stuff and they buy this package. Now I just do the things that are recommended in here, and then I'll also probably do the more specific things based off the initial roadmap. But that way I'm not doing hourly work anymore. I'm now doing project-based work, which is a lot better because one, I can pay my employees based off projects, and it's not tied to a certain amount of hours anymore, and it's not as hard to cross-check because all I have to do is just take all the stuff that was done from in here and then take the more specific things within here, within the initial roadmap, go from Z to X, copy all the stuff that's been fixed, and then plug it directly into the SEO report. So if I go in here in month 1, I'll say, hey name, it looks like we're really making a ton of progress. Here is all the stuff we fixed from the initial roadmap. Then I'll do a colon and then just list off all the stuff based on in here, and then just plug it right in there because I can literally just copy and paste it, just like taking all this, boom, into here. It really depends, though. If you want to show them all the stuff that you're doing, you don't have to show them. I will literally usually just do the more general stuff. I'll be like, yeah, we worked on the things from the priority checklist, like image compression, that kind of thing. And then every month, you want to do like a small mini roadmap just to give them another top 10 list of stuff that you're going to work on. So you would just go reassess what you did, talk about the things that you want to do next month, which is completely reasonable. So I'm just going to say list items. And then I'm going to go down here and show the report, like the different positive things I'm seeing within the analytics. Go into Search Console. Let's go into Search Console as well. BMW says, I miss you doing live audits on YouTube. I'm actually going to be doing a live giveaway pretty soon here. It might be tomorrow, actually, if you guys stay tuned. So anyways, you're going to go into Search Console. You're going to go into Search Analytics. Clicks, impressions, click-through rates, and positions. You're going to filter by the date range you're looking for, so last 28 days, whatever it is. And then you're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of that. So you can show them, look, this is all the stuff that we're improving on. And then you can also take screenshots of the specific keywords that you're improving or the specific pages that are improving. And you could even highlight, say, hey, look, we worked specifically on this page. Looks like it's going up from 9,000 or 7,000 impressions last month to around 10,000 with 522 clicks. That is a 5.8% or 5.2% increase in click-through rates, whatever it is. But the point is that you're showing them the different things that you're working on and how that correlates into them ranking higher. Now, this is really easy to do because all you really have to do is small on-page changes for a lot of this stuff, maybe adding content, whatever it is, and you can show a lot of progress. The problem is that what some people do is they just show overall traffic just alone, and then they don't actually end up showing people what they're actually working on. And what that means is that if I look into here, into analytics, this looks great, right? So we'll say it looks great, 60 versus 23, even though it doesn't look that great. But we'll just say it does. Then if we look back over here and we see, 100 of those clicks are going to a page that they don't care about, like a contact page or something, or maybe a page that's like a FAQ page, then they don't really, that's not really helping them. So same thing if it's the opposite. If they go down in traffic, but they go up in conversions, or they go up in traffic to a specific page, then that's what they actually want. Because say for instance, like I was doing SEO for myself, and I look at the home page, and I see that this page is dropping, but this SEO checklist is going up, which is what's happening. That's okay to me because, say for instance, I was spending more time on this checklist than I was on the home page because I knew this brought me all this money, but overall my traffic metrics are down because of this one page that's bringing me all my traffic. Well, I need to be able to explain to the client why, it's a good thing that the traffic's going down overall, because on the specific pages we're working on, the traffic's going up, which is where they're making all their money, which is another reason why conversion tracking is so important. So, like I said, these things that we're doing or reporting on really depend on sort of what we're actually focusing on. Overall, you're going to be reporting on these specific things no matter what. Search Console traffic comparison. But it's sort of biased, like I said. It depends on what you're working on. But you can tell pretty quickly whether or not what you're doing is helping them or hurting them. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I'll plug that in there. Boom, there it is. Some of the other things I would probably talk about is the game plan for the next month. And like I said, I'll create tutorials for this. Organic screenshot, and then let me get the other one, which is the initial roadmap priority checklist report. We'll just say stats. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, that seems like really easy, but it's just because it is. The more transparent, here's the biggest thing. The more transparent you can make this and straightforward, the better. And a lot of the times that I make reports like this, the clients are really happy for me to just go over and walk them through it. I'm not wasting a bunch of time by getting a bunch of metrics that don't matter. Like, some people like do like 50,000, page, not 50,000, but they'll do like 50 pages where, there will be audience, demographics, all that stuff. If the clients really want that, that's great. But overall, for like local clients or clients that aren't going to be caring too much about that stuff, it's sort of a waste of time. Most of the people who are doing their own websites sort of know their target, their audience anyways. So, I think the last thing I would say is just making sure you're sort of going over the conversions. So you would go to conversions, goals, overview. We're going to go to the actual last month that we just worked on. And I track certain things. I don't track too many things on conversion tracking. I track, if it's an affiliate site like this one, outbound clicks. If it's another site like, a local site that accepts calls or whatever, I'm going to track offline conversions like calls. It just really depends on the industry we're working with, but overall conversions are pretty straightforward. So here you can see, we got a 1.7% increase in value, but that alone took them from $12,930 to $13,150. And for them to have steady increase like that, even if it's a small percentage, and it's a percentage based on the pages that really matter to them. So like, say for instance, this page converts way better than that page, then we can say, hey, look, you're already making 10 times what we're billing you at, or at least 5 times, 6 times what we're billing you at. So for you to keep investing is a good idea for you, as well as for us to keep working on this, because it looks like we're being able to maintain a positive growth. So I would go take that as well. And so on and so on. If we wanted to as well, we could just report on conversions from organic, but I like to report on overall conversions generally because people will go on visit on organic and then come back for direct and then convert. Let's just put that in there. Oops, what the heck? So yeah, pretty straightforward. You're just showing them progress, really. You're just comparing what you did last month to this month. You're showing them what you did. You're trying to stay away from hours because that's makes things a lot more confusing. And then just try to agree to things each month. Just try to say you're going to do certain things. Like I said, within certain packages, you can create your own packages, do whatever you want. I just get people. I just agree to certain things, and then I'll usually go above and beyond and do more things based off what's in here. But if you can at least come up with things that you can agree to, it really makes things a lot less confusing when you do reporting. When you're doing hourly work and you're just like trying to bill people each month and not really have a game plan of what you're actually going to do, it's going to be a lot harder to do reporting because people are going to be way more skeptical because they don't actually know what's going on. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Sorry, I wasn't probably 1,000% straightforward with this. It is something that you sort of have to learn on your own and sort of figure out what works for you. But overall, if you can agree to like these certain things, like make sure you have your Search Console installed, analytics. Make sure you have conversion tracking set up so you can track what pages are making money based on the pages you're working on. Have organic traffic screenshot with comparisons to the previous month. Show the initial priority checklist implementations that you did. Search Console traffic comparison as well. And then maybe showing any additional pages that you need to show based on if they're going up or down, with explanations of why they might be going up or down. Have a game plan for the next month, and then do your overall conversion screenshot as well. You'll be pretty good to go. I mean, that's pretty much covering everything that people are going to be wanting to see. So if you guys want this, this will also be in the agency templates with the tutorial attached, so you guys can use it. And that's pretty much it. As I said previously, I will be doing probably an SEO giveaway tomorrow, doing an audit. So if you guys do want to come by and check that out, I encourage you to do so. So that's all for now, guys. Thanks again for stopping by, and until I see you all next time, happy SEOing.